Happy sunrise, family, or good evening. I'm trying to get this video out before the sun goes down and I lose my natural lighting and everything. But this video is going to be my April wrap up for all the books that I read in April, and I'm not gonna lie to you, baby, it ain't a lot. Like I told y'all in my March wrap up, I had a lot going on in the month of April, same as March. March was a crazy, chaotic month just for my household. April was chaotic just because I had that Readers Take Denver trip coming up, and I got ADHD, so it's hard for me to do multiple things at one time. If you know what I mean, you know, like I'll start doing one thing and then end up doing something else, and then end up doing something else, and then end up doing something else, and then at the end of the day, nothing gets done, right? So I had to make it a little bit easier on myself in the month of April. So I really didn't create a TBR for this month. I just kind of winged it. With all that being said, I did actually read 4 books this month. 2 of them were audibles, the other 2 were Kindle reads, just because I was kind of on the go and packing and getting ready. So I'm gonna get into that with y'all right now. The first book I read was Lunessa. This is one that I listened to on Audible. The author is CJ Childs, I believe. She DM'd me on TikTok actually, and asked me if I would be interested in reading her book. She told me to kind of go to her page, do a little bit of research, kind of see if it was something that I would be interested in, and if I was, to let her know. So I did my research. I did, watched a couple of her videos, looked into the blurb of the book just to see if I could catch a vibe or whatever the case may be, because I'm very much a mood reader. And it seemed very intriguing, so I let her know, like, okay, yeah, I'm game, let's go. So I think the book was also available on Kindle, but being that it was the start of April and I had a lot of running around doing packing, I opted to listen to it. That way I could still get my tasks done while I'm moving around. I think the Audible was about 4 hours, maybe 4.5 hours, if that, so it was relatively quick. The gist of the book, honestly, I don't even know where to start. I don't even really know how to explain this book. I'm gonna try to use the same analogies that I used when I was talking about this book on TikTok. First thing first, the book does mention God and the devil quite a lot. It mentions, demons and angels and things of that nature. Now, let me just make this clear. It's not a religious book, okay? Let me make that clear, because I know a lot of people kind of get up in arms about, when things have religious undertones. It's not a religious book at all. It just talks, the storyline has a lot to do with those things. Let me explain. Okay. So, like I told TikTok, if you've watched the movie Beautiful Creatures or you read the series Beautiful Creatures, think of the main female character in that. I can't remember her name right now, but she was, very, very powerful, and she had both light and dark energy within her, as we all do. But in the movie and in the book, she had darkness within her, and it came time to where she was going to have to choose what side she was going to play for. Okay, that's basically what Lunessa is about. She's a fallen angel, so to speak, and she has darkness placed inside her by the devil or Lucifer or whoever he is in the book. And as she gets older, she has to figure out which side she's going to play for. You know what I'm saying? If she's going to rock in the light energy, or if she's going to rock in the dark energy. Now, another analogy that I used was the movie Hancock with Will Smith. If y'all remember, him and the female main character in that movie had a strong tie. They were soulmates, twin flames rather, and they had this significant pull towards one another, right? Same as Beautiful Creatures, the main characters in that movie, they had a significant pull towards each other, right? So it's like they were meant to be, but every time they get together, catastrophe breaks loose, right? All hell breaks loose, things are up in flames, it's chaotic as fuck. So it's as if, although they love each other and want to be together, they can't, because of all of the things that take place when they're in the same vicinity, right? That's literally what Lunessa entails, okay? Without giving y'all the storyline, that's basically what this book entails, okay? fallen angels. They are basically two souls from. They are basically one soul split into two. They have a strong pull towards each other, but whenever they get together, it's just hell. And then you go ahead and add in the fact that she has a bit of darkness in her, so you don't even know which side she's going to go to, right? That's what this book basically is. Like I said, it was relatively short. I did enjoy it. It was intriguing. It was different. I've actually never read a book like this. I've clearly watched movies like this, but I've actually never read a book. So it was a little bit different. I don't know if I would throw this in like a sci-fi category, celestial category. I don't even really know what kind of genre this would be, to be completely honest. But I think it was a good read. She does have a second book. I'm not sure if it's out yet, but she did give me the link so I could arc read it. I don't know if it's out yet. But there is a second book to Lunessa. I haven't read that yet, but I am going to read that in this upcoming month. The next book that I got into is a book that I've read already. I've read this book already, but I love this book so much. It gave me, this was a book that I got into right after I finished reading Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I was on like this fantasy high, and nothing else that I was getting into was really, you know, getting me, being that that was like the first fantasy book that I jumped into and I was hooked. The book that I'm talking about now is by M.L. Burns. It's called Hourglass Keeper. Hourglass Keeper was a great time, okay? So the Hourglass Keeper is about Azahara. She is basically this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. You know what I mean? She's just gorgeous, red hair. She's just like, anybody that sees her is like, they're just automatically attracted. And you know, it's people out here that's just like, how do you look like that? Like, how is that even possible? You know, that's basically her character in this book. She ends up getting cursed by this god. See, we're back in this realm again. She gets cursed by this god because this god wants her, wants to claim her, wants to own her, and she doesn't want any ties. So he ends up cursing her and forces her to relive her life over and over and over again. She dies every single year and has to relive her life over and over. So that's the gist of the book. I don't want to give you any more than that because that's the blurb. I don't want to give you any more than that because then I'll be telling the storyline. But it's a great fucking time, okay? This is a dark fantasy. Keep that in mind. So please heed the trigger warnings because it is some dark shit in this book. It's a dark fantasy, dark romantasy, why choose, reverse harem type of situation. And if you know me, you know I love a book with a strong ass female, and I eat why choose books up. Okay, so I ate this up. I did actually listen to this on Audible because I already read it on Kindle. When did I read it? I think I read it on Kindle in December actually. So I listened to it on Audible because the Audible for it just dropped like a couple of weeks ago, and amazing. The Audible is amazing. So if you don't want to read it, you know, you do have the choice to read the Audible. The second book is actually getting ready to drop on May 1st. I have read that one already too. I was lucky enough to read the arc for that, which is Dragon's Keeper. So if you are into the Hourglass Keeper, go ahead and look into Dragon's Keeper. Dragon's Keeper is going to be available on Kindle and also physical copy on Amazon. I don't know about the Audible yet. That might be in the works. I'm not sure. But if you do like this one, just know the second one is dropping. There is going to be 5 books in the series, I believe. Not sure when the third one comes out though, so I'll keep y'all in tune because I'm pretty sure I'll be reading that before it drops too. The third book I read was actually a Kindle read. It's called Don't Let Me Down by Talina Tillman, I believe her name is. This was the first book that I've ever read by this particular author. It was a good time. I do not remember the characters' names, y'all. I'm not gonna hold you because I actually started this book on the way to Denver, and I started reading again on the way back from Denver, and then I like just finished it a couple of days ago, so I can't really remember all of the details. I just know I enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed it. What I do recall, and I think this is on the blurb as well, this is about a woman who is married to her husband. Her husband is a dog, essentially, and she ends up divorcing him, shuts off herself from love, and then she ends up running into this great-ass, fine-ass man of a man, okay? And then it just basically shows their love story and so on and so forth. I'm not going to, of course, tell you all of the details in that, but it was a good book. I think it was relatively short as well, but it was a good time. The last book I read, I actually just read it last night because I was bored. I haven't read anything all month, and I was like itching. I was itching to read something. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do this. So this book is actually called Forbidden Kiss. Is it Forbidden Kisses or Forbidden Kiss? I'll post it so y'all can see. One or the other, by Mariah Kingsley. Now, I never read anything about by this author either. However, I did actually meet her at Readers Take Denver, and I bought some books from her. And she had a little QR code in the little gift bag that she gave me. So when I scanned it, it was a free book that popped up, and this was the free book. So I read it last night. This is a novella. It's like a mafia romance type of situation. Very, very short. The storyline was decent. It was a decent storyline. I definitely enjoyed it, especially because it was a quick read. It's a little fast paced. I mean, most novellas are. So if you're not into fast paced books or like insta love type of thing, although it's kind of like, I guess you could say enemies to lovers, forced proximity type of situation. But the male character was already, it was insta love for him. But don't we love a book where the man falls for the woman first? Don't we love that? Because he chases after her, you know? It just hits a little bit different when it's the man that's folding for the woman, right? So if you like that type of situation, I would say give it a go. I want to, it may have been only like 12 or 15 chapters. I don't know. I think on Kindle it was like 52 pages. So I ate that shit up in like 45 minutes, you know? So get into it, don't get into it, you decide. Okay, y'all, that's all I got. I told y'all this was gonna be a short ass goddamn on video, a short ass book recommendation, book review, April wrap up type of situation. I actually don't have a May TBR just yet because again, I've only been home for a week, and I still have a lot of books to unpack from Readers Take Denver, and I'll probably do a vlog on that too, just to show y'all all of the books that I have, the signed copies, the ones that I bought, so on and so forth. I'll do a separate video for that. But yeah, I think May is gonna be a month of fucking winging it when it comes to the books. I don't have a TBR. I'm just really gonna wing it and read whatever the fuck falls in my lap, okay? So that's all I got, y'all. Love y'all so much. Thank you for tuning in, and happy reading. Catch y'all in the next video. Bye.